Again, Australian mistake when they may well have had an opportunity there for a try. P2, Solomé.
Great skill there by Little on the wing. Spotted his man was up with no one in front of him. Just put the little kick over, collected it very simply, and then as he collected a little flick pass, good awareness to Herbert. And Herbert's a strong man, stayed in field and passed the ball back.
Let's see what they try the line out this time. Finnegan is 2 from the back. Joe Neal's in the middle, Giffen at the front. But they've been switching positions on a regular basis. Neal's this time, look, pretty straightforward stuff. Gregan, Kafer, missing out Horan, and Ben Tune in the line from right wing. This is Daniel Herbert, and he's got Little outside. Little needs a bit of support, gets it from David Wilson. This is more like it from Australia. Kafer turning it inside to Giffen, tying in those Romanian defenders. Kafer, Ben Tune, Kefu, big strong man Kefu, bludgeoning forward. Sluzariuk ripping the ball back. Australia 3 metres short, picked up by John Eales. Gregan again, Timmy Horan. Good tackling though by Romania. It is perhaps their weakness. They were caught offside though. But you would have fancied an Australian try there.
You certainly would have, but let's pay tribute to that injection of pace from the line out by Ben Tune. Really cut the defence and a lovely little pass to Herbert. It was unfortunate that Australia didn't get a try because the movement was good enough to get one.
There's an injury to one of the Romanian players in the dead ball area. So we've had almost 25 minutes of this game. Australia ahead, and Gwyn Jones, as we get another chance to look at this, what's your summation of the way Australia have played so far in this game, this World Cup?
Well, for the first 20 minutes or so, they've been adventurous. They've tried to put pace and power into their game. They've been a couple more mistakes, I think, than they would like to have done, because they probably squandered 2 or 3 chances for easy tries. But other than that, they have looked powerful. We know they're a force. But I must say that I'm very impressed by the adventure and creativity of the Romanian team. They've been very positive, rarely given easy penalties and been negative or cynical in their play. And it's a delight to watch them play because of their positive nature.
Gabriel Brezianu, centre, is now recovered. Well, what will they work here, Australia? Kefu, this looks like a good Australian drive here. They're 2 metres short. Kefu surely. And he gets the try, gets the touchdown despite the protestations of Sluzariuk. Fairly tidy drive.
Yeah, it was the old pushover try, straight and simple. Great power in that scrum. Too much for Romania to handle. Kefu doing well with his good footballing skills. Just to nurse the ball along. Then just picks it up a yard short and dives over.
Referee's arm was up pretty quickly there.
Looks a bit like Ryan Giggs there, doesn't he? But he's right-footed. Does well, picks the ball up, places it over. Easy try.
Screens of advance Australia fair at Ravenhill.
Not quite like the Millennium Stadium, if you don't mind me saying, Mark.
No, it's much better than that, obviously.
It's a shame they can't close the roof tonight because it's getting a bit wet.
Yeah, the roof here in Ireland's clouds. It's all we can afford. Good kick from Matt Burke. 19-3, gap is now 16 points. rumbling control drive by Australia. It's been a little bit frustrating this first half, Gwyn. Stop-start, rather fractured. Not able to get a flow going.
Well, there's been a lot of contrast in this first half, because there's been a couple of passages of play which have lasted and flowed beautifully, but then other times it's been a little stop-start, and there's discipline on both sides, losing the ball in contact, little knock-ons from both teams, it must be said. And but nevertheless, I think both teams are trying to entertain this crowd who come here tonight, and on the whole, with their positive nature, they're doing very well.
Romanians bringing on a replacement, Nikolai Dima from Castres, so he plays same club that Jeremy Davidson graced, British Lions second row forward. It's Finnegan doing all the hard work in there. Now taken on there by Richard Harry. Gregan, Kafer, Kefu in the centre. Knock on by Timmy Horan. And again, if Horan had taken possession there was a suspicion of an overlap possibly for the Australians.
There's a suspicion of about 3 or 4, I'd say, but no, all the hard work was done. The good drive from Harry, quick ball, a little bit of intricate passing behind the player there, and you really do expect Australia to make better of the opportunities they have created.
Bagianu to Mitu. Pretty lively character, this scrum half, isn't he?
Yes, he is, and he's impressed me in the first 25 minutes. And he looks a very quality player. The live wire, he's going to snipe and look for any opportunity to get his back row running. And also the goal kicker, so a valuable asset for Romania.
He's a good player, 22 years of age. Wouldn't be surprised if he joins the exodus to French rugby. Got a few Romanians play there these days. Gregan. There's Kefu again. Kearns. Gregan. Kefa. Kefer again. Over the head of George Solomé. Good kick. Then tune up quickly and very committed too.
This is a very interesting period of the match now, because obviously Australia have the upper hand, and they're looking just to practice their patterns of play, look to their game plan to see how they would play in a very much more competitive match. And they're just going through their moves. Everyone's getting familiar to the timing of it, and this is probably the pattern that we will see when they do come up against some harder opposition later on.
Here's a number 2 this time. Giffen the target. In goes Harry. Joined by Kearns, looking to get some momentum in this maul. Just about managing it. Finnegan. They just lost it forward.
I don't think his 7 partners in the pack will be thanking Finnegan for that, because there's a lot of effort put in to get that most going forward, and then a little bit of ill-discipline, just trying to work a one-handed pass away in contact in weather like this is a little bit optimistic.
So much for the cricket feed, eh?
More like rugby league.
Meant to be clamping down on that. Vuzek with a clearance. Viorianu and Vuzek, good boots on them. They can gain plenty of yards.
You do find with the teams from Eastern Europe that they're very good footballers, of course, because soccer is so dominant in these countries. They've all played a lot of soccer, and their goal kickers really do give the ball a good shunt.
A couple of injuries at the moment. Phil Kearns is down on the ground below us. as well. So you feel Australia, New Zealand still got a little bit of work to do. How will they look back at the Tonga game and Australia this first half?
Well, I think that obviously they're happy with the win, but it's really the quality of the performance they're after. They really need to get that quality up, because with especially New Zealand in mind, they have to play England, who looked so good yesterday, it must be said. So they'll be a little bit concerned with their performance. They had an injury to Case Muse, their tight end, so a little bit of work for them to do. And similarly with Australia, not quite flowing as they'd like to. That's not too bad, because it is a long competition and they don't want to play their best rugby now, but they got a tough challenge in Lansdowne Road coming their way, haven't they?
Yes. England looked good, you said. Do you find it difficult to talk through gritted teeth?
You got my fingers crossed as well.
Yes, England did look good against Italy, especially when you compare it to the performance of New Zealand against Tonga, which long periods in that match New Zealand did struggle. South Africa, of course, beating Scotland earlier on today, and that match, Gwen, I know you watched it, was for long spells pretty competitive.
Well, it was right up to 20 minutes to go, and Scotland were doing very well in front. But it's just that thing with the Southern Hemisphere teams. They do have that extra spark, that extra yard of pace almost all throughout the team, and after an hour of playing, it does tend to come through when the Northern Hemisphere or Five Nations countries play these Southern Hemisphere teams. There's that extra little bit of quality that takes about an hour or so to come through. But England do look like the finished article, or did yesterday at least, and they'll push New Zealand all the way, I'm sure.
Richard Parry, who returned for the final two Tri-Nations matches of this year. Well, the crowd behind Romania, it seems here, has gone. Tiniak puts it through for Son to chase. Across comes Matt Burke.
Didn't realise there was a strong Romanian community here in Belfast.
There's a strong underdog community here in Belfast, which seemed to work during the European Cup. So Australia, after a very good start where they scored inside the first couple of minutes, not having it all their own way by any means in this first half, despite comfortable margin at the moment. Gregan, Finnegan, big man, 6'6". And again it's been rolled, and it's Mitu once more. What a first half the Romanian scrum half has had. Sluzariuk. Mitu, Vuzek, Petrash, the blind side. Slow ball though, and use it or lose it, and they've lost it.
Tenacious play again by Petro and Mitu, and if he carries on playing like this, the checkbooks will be out for his signature before the end of the night.
Regan, Matt Burke. Oh, well taken by Viorian, who did extremely well there. Burke underneath it. Oh, a bit of broken play. What can Australia do from this? Finnegan. Cairns. Giffen. Advantage Australia. Romania attempting to scrape the ball back along the ground. It's John Eel's range, this one.
Quiet word of the referee in Romania there. Don't think he quite understood.
Matt Burke going for the corner here. 37 minutes gone in this first half. John Neal's at the tail this time, and Owen Finnegan waiting alongside him. Septar, though, gathers it for Romania. Mitu, Vusek. under a little bit of pressure, but did well. He can kick off both feet, obviously.